DrayZera Uncensored with our co-host Jack Hyde. Yo, welcome back to another episode of DrayZera Uncensored. This is episode 49 and we are one away from the 5-0. But happily for us, neither myself or Jackie Hyde are 50 years old. Welcome aboard, Jack, you young man.
I am 49 years old.
No,
I turn 50 next podcast.
Absolute rubbish. No way. No. Absolute.
I left the stuff in my old days, young man. I was born in 1876.
Wait, that would make you over 120.
Don't you assume my gender?
For God's sake. Oh my God. Right, okay, people, just so you know, we at DrayZera Uncensored, we do not condone anything. Alright, jokes aside, Jack's only playing. Anyone who is non-binary or has transformed their gender or have changed gender switch is all chill. But we do not assume Jackie Hyde's gender. So now that we got that out of the way, so that all of our 5 to 10 viewers won't turn away. So literally,
Thanks all 5 of you.
Oh yeah, all 5 of us. Yes, you're still here. So yeah, so today we're just going to talk about the genre of new metal, or essentially metal that was around when myself and Jackie Hyde were kids. So we're talking Slipknot, we're talking Korn, we're talking Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit, all that jazz, man. So tell me, what really got you going in metal when you were a kid?
Slipknot.
Oh man. So
I'd say
you go on.
that was the first metal band I heard.
So with that said, so Slipknot, was the first song you listened to, was it Spit? Or Spit It Out, or was it People Legal Shit? Because that was one of their earlier stuff.
That was probably Duality.
Oh, Duality! Wait, Duality came out in 05. Pretty sure it's like 05 or... When did that come out? No, that came... Yeah, Duality came out...
I can remember when that album came out.
Hold on, let me double check.
So I remember it being on Tally and shit when I was a kid, but I can't remember, any...
Have you heard of Wait and Bleed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was... Wait and Bleed was the song that was in the Resident Evil films. That
was My Plague.
Sorry?
My Plague.
Yes, My Plague, sorry, yes it was My Plague, yeah. Da, 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 da. Yeah, that one.
I just love the punchline in the first verse when he goes, "The only thing you know about me is..."
Yeah.
That's all you'll ever know.
Exactly.
That's just
Exactly. Duality came out... Oh, wow! Holy shoot! Duality came out a lot earlier than I thought. It actually came out in 2004.
What?
So you must have been 11 at that time. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh my God, bro, I was still in school. Oh my God.
I was middle school.
Oh yeah, so for all those that don't know, so so back when we were younger, we used to have a 3-tier school system. So just imagine, if we're talking about 2-tier system, just imagine the lower end of high school, put it that way.
Yeah.
But oh my God, wow. Yo, but yeah, man, man, that's pretty mad, yo. But yeah, with Slipknot, I mean, I think, if we're being honest, they are, if we're talking about the eras, if we're talking about from the 2000 era, so from the, just on the millennium, just at the very late 90s to the millennium, I think they must be, arguably, the biggest band out of that era.
Yeah.
I would argue.
Yeah, definitely.
Because you got to think about this. So example, Korn have kind of fallen away. We'll talk about them later. Limp Bizkit's irrelevant, unfortunately, due to Chester Bennington's passing.
Do you know what happened to Limp Bizkit?
Sorry?
Do you know what happened to Limp Bizkit?
I'm pretty sure they signed. Didn't they sign up to Lil Wayne's record company?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's Birdman's.
Oh my God.
Even worse.
Oh, what, Birdman?
Yeah.
Wow.
Birdman's well known for fucking people over.
So is Birdman an artist or is he a record guy?
he's like a record guy, but he kind of do songs, but he's not that good. But
Really?
like when Lil Wayne wanted to bring out his 5th album, because he fell out with Lil Wayne, he still had all the things to his album, and he wouldn't give him his album to release it.
Really?
So, yeah, so Lil Wayne had to remake the album again so he could bring it out.
Wow. See, this is why, like, I always say that you should always record your own shit.
He's basically doing like a Suge Knight, but he's like not Suge Knight.
Wow, that's mad.
He thinks he's Suge Knight.
That's pretty mad. Like, yeah, I mean, it's pretty mad because, like, I feel like, yeah, I mean, Slipknot. What's your opinion on Slipknot now?
I think Slipknot, now they're probably like the GOATs, aren't they?
And do you feel like with their kind of, because obviously the new metal, so basically new metal is the kind of like metal that is kind of defined as kind of new age, kind of a little bit of like, it has very slight kind of influences of punk, but it's kind of like a bit more digitized using DJ kind of
If
stuff.
you put all in order, where would you put it? Because I'd say you get like rock and roll, you get rock, you get heavy metal, then you kind of get like the grungy kind of Nirvana kind of stuff, and then I'd say probably new metal.
What are you talking about? Like new? You're talking about genres of music that helps define time.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question, bro.
That's probably like a mix between, I'd say, like grunge, heavy metal, and like elements of like pop for the commercial.
Yeah, like, I get you. Yeah, man. Like, I think that's a good question, bro. So I'm thinking that it's very, very hard because obviously the thing is all about eras, and I would say like old school like rock, so Thin Lizzy, Led Zeppelin. We're talking about that kind of era, and Venom, all that stuff. So the bands that kind of influence Metallica, as an example, right?
Pink Floyd.
Sorry.
Pink Floyd.
Yeah, Pink Floyd, Hawkwind, yeah, those kind of groups, you know.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a knock-on effect. So, you know, like we have reached an age, man, that bands like Slipknot influence modern bands.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh my days, we are
getting... see, what's they called? One of the, I can't remember who the fuck it was.
Yeah.
They were like, that's like one of the mainstream boy band groups now. Like, some of them will wear, like, Slipknot shirts and they're singing, like, pop songs, and I was like, what the fuck?
I know, it's mad, like, it's pretty mad. Like.
Yeah.
And I've got, Slipknot's latest album, so We Are Not Your Kind, that came out last year. You heard it yet?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so
good. Yeah.
I would say, like...
Probably their best one since the Volume 3, I'd say.
See, the way I think of it is, it's so, as you can tell, you know that they are minted when the production quality is so good.
Yeah.
And yeah, like they're just going from strength to strength, and I really enjoyed like this.
I don't think there was a bad song on their new album.
Nah, like you've got like Unsainted, you've got Birth of the Cruel, because I've got the album listings right here.
Yeah.
Death Because of Death, Nero Forte, Critical Darling, Liar's Funeral, like yeah, man, like.
Yeah.
A Soul Way First, man. That one. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah.
So.
I like Liar's Funeral. I thought that was deep as fuck.
Which one? A Liar's Funeral. Yes,
Liar's Funeral.
Yes.
I think that's about like mental illness when you get to reach out to people and they're like, "Oh, you fucking liar," and that's like fucking.
Yeah. When like what was it? When Corey goes, "Do liar," something like that. Yeah. Oh man, that. See what I mean? Like. We talk about Slipknot.
Like, you open up to people and then it's like, fuck you fucking lie about it. There's like a witch hunt in it for the mentally ill now. So, like, if you're mentally ill, they'll witch hunt you down. It's like, burn the liar.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I really enjoy about Slipknot. Like, they still have the essence of what the new metal genre is.
I noticed as well in that song at the end, he threw shots, didn't he? The one who got kicked out.
Oh, really?
In the, can you remember Dead Memories?
Yes.
In Dead Memories at the end, the one with the big nose who got kicked out of the band, he's holding that candle, isn't he? Corey blow out his candle.
Wow.
And then song, he says, we're blowing out your candles, the dead don't need no light or something, and that's just like, ooh.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's shots fired. That's like the equivalent of like in the rap game, people are like throwing shots. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's mad.
Just blatant shots.
bad. Do you know why that long-nosed head guy got kicked out?
He accused them of money laundering and shit, didn't he?
Really?
Yeah. But they were like, that's full of shit, because they've all fucking done their own thing, haven't they, really?
Wow. That's mad ting. That's absolutely... That's mad. That's mind-blowing. So, yeah, like... And here's another thing about Slipknot that was really cool. Slipknot were one of the first groups, alongside other groups that were mentioned. They introduced a DJ guy, they introduced, like, added drummers, like, percussionists, like, random... Like, they've introduced artists such as Clown, that literally, like, bangs on, like, trash cans, and, like, big-ass, like, you know what I mean? Like... That was mad.
He's supposed to be making a horror
Sorry?
movie or something.
Really? Wow. I'm sure.
Yeah.
Wow,
that'd be cool.
That's pretty mad. Like, oh, side note, if you
I think he's got an interesting, like, creative view, because he make all the music videos, doesn't he?
Oh yeah. I think I heard about that. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Nero Forte one. That's about the abusive relationship, innit? Me and Trapped, and the video got who's stuck in all the gooey thing, isn't she? And she can't get out.
Oh wow, that's pretty mad.
So that's like represents that, yeah.
That is pretty mad. That's pretty mad. Wow, that is literally pretty mad. Like, wow. Oh man. Right. So yeah, we could talk about Slipknot for ages, but let's just move on to a group that have literally, in my opinion, they are irrelevant. Please don't come back. Limp Bizkit.
I liked a few of their songs back in the day. Like the
Rolling.
What was
yeah,
that
you love Rolling, yeah.
Was it Hot Dog Water and Chocolate Starfish or something?
Yeah. Did you? Obviously, we all love Rolling.
Were sick. Yeah.
Yeah. Rolling. Man, but
oh shit, I'm pretty good.
oh man, let's don't cry, man, don't cry. But no, seriously though.
No.
Here's the thing, right? I actually like their song Behind Blue Eye, but then I realised, wait a moment, this is a cover song. Fuck you!
I always laugh at that song because I always think he say Batman at the beginning. No one knows what it's like to be a Batman.
And you know the funny thing, right? Yeah. I also think that I think the last best song by Limp Bizkit, in my opinion, is "Eat You Alive."
I don't think I even heard it.
It goes like this: "Don't eat you alive, I'm gonna eat you alive." It goes like that. You must have heard. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure if you
Voices
seen the
of
music.
Angels on this podcast.
Sorry.
Voices of Angels on this podcast.
There are voices.
Singers.
Yes.
Definitely the horizon.
Oh man, but no, I mean, this is a group where, unlike Slipknot, they've kind of diversified, and while still sticking...
I kind of feel like Limp Bizkit was trying to be like the rock Eminem.
You reckon so?
Yeah, because he looked exactly the same, didn't he, at one point? He had like the exact same image. Eminem done that song, didn't he? And he dissed the fuck out of him.
Oh, what song was that?
I think it was called Girls.
Oh, yeah, man.
He done the whole keep rolling with the chorus and shit.
Oh my god, that's so mad.
Yeah.
That's so mad. And the way I see it, man, is for real, like, I honestly think that, yeah, like, I honestly think that it's kind of like, I think Limp Bizkit fell into the trap of, like, literally having, like, their music, they were, like, hot, and then literally, when they literally lost their relevancy, they just fell off a cliff, and they're just, like, the creativity, in my opinion, of Fred Durst, I think he's a piece of shit as a human being, but I think that their creativity is just trash.
Yeah.
That's my
honest... just kind of like, I don't know. That's like mainstream, like, rock pop, like pop rock and that kind of thing.
Yeah, they kind of like moved away from what was catchy, what was good, like, you know. Yeah.
Remember the Mission Impossible song they done?
Oh yeah. That was good. That was actually alright. That was alright. But man, like,
that's when they were good, and they went kind of shit after like all that stuff.
Yeah, man. I think the thing is, I honestly think that if it's a band, in my opinion, this is my honest opinion, if Limp Bizkit is a band that is only remembered for giving Undertaker a cool ass theme song, then they're not relevant.
Mm.
You know what I mean? It's kind of like a bit of another example. I know we're not going to mention them that much, but Alter Bridge, like their only good song, really, is the song that they did for Edge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can't name another song but Alter Bridge, can you?
I don't know. There's one on Guitar Hero, but I can't think of it.
But you get what I'm saying here. Like that is like the main. That's
the band who done Edge's song.
Yeah, that's it. Exactly. Exactly. And there you go. Man, that is like. Yeah, I mean, I think that literally as soon as he went and collab with Lil Wayne, and probably just before that, like, oh my god, that's so trash.
Yeah.
And also, like, you could tell. Look at Fred Durst now. Like, Fred Durst looks frail. He's, one of those guys where they try and act cool, but you know they're not cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like an embarrassing dad.
What do you even say their best song was? Wait, should we say like what their best songs are after like each band as well?
Yeah, we could do that. We can do that. So
what Slipknot would you say? I'd say Slipknot, their best song's probably Disaster Piece.
That's not bad. That's bad. That's not bad. See, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Vermilion Part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
That's a soft spot, but I would say
I like Snuff as well. Snuff is sick.
Snuff is good. I think the most meme song by Slipknot is Psychosocial.
Yeah.
I think if we go, oh man, so hard. I think that I think because I really love Resident Evil, I actually like My Plague. I think My Plague is probably my favorite. And like,
I nearly said that.
Yeah, My Plague. Yeah. What would you say Limp Bizkit's favorite song is?
Probably My Way.
Oh yeah. I have to go with Rollin', man.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rollin' is that's it, man. Rollin' has to be the one. And so let's move on to a band known as Korn. Bro, talk to me about Korn, man. Cause I'm a little bit hot and cold with them, man. I like Korn far more than Limp Bizkit, but no, tell me about Korn, man.
I don't even know what to say. He's got some, he's like a weird. I don't know how to even explain their music really. He do that weird beatboxing-y kind of thing, doesn't he? Sometimes.
Well, we go the boom, boom, like that, though. Yeah.
Oh. Like the weird noises and stuff. He done that song about being raped or something, and that you listen to that, you're like, what the fuck? This is like one of the most disturbing songs probably ever made.
What album was that? Was that like an old bro?
I can't remember. It's called one where he's just screaming. He's like, "Daddy, no!" All that shit. That's just like, whoa, what the fuck?
Oh my god, that's mad as hell, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, he's probably like crying and shit, and that's like, whoa, what the fuck's happening?
Yo. So here's my thing with Korn, right? So their old stuff, where like very old stuff, good. I also like man.
I love Twisted Transistor and Freak on a Leash.
Oh yeah. So
Twisted Transistor had all Snoop Dogg and Lil Jon and all rappers playing the parts of the Korn band.
Oh yeah.
The video.
So Twisted Transistor was actually a bit more like later than Freak on a Leash. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Freak on a Leash was like one of the iconic songs. Freak on a Leash was the one where it was like a bullet. There was a bullet it was the bullet that went like all across random locations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good song. And yeah, like I quite like the very like hard grooves. They have a very good groove to them. Like they had, I think Korn out of all the bands we're going to talk about, they had the most grungy kind of influence in my opinion. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like yeah, man, like I have to say, and like I remembered when I was in school, when people spelt out Korn with the R backwards, I'm like, wait, that's not how you spell Korn. I got so confused.
Yeah.
Legit, like that's like pretty mad, and man, like that's so cool. Like I have to think like I'm really like enjoying. I really like. So here's the thing. So we've got, what was it? So there wasn't. So their debut album was just called Corn, right? And basically, one of the first songs I remembered by them was called Blind.
Yeah.
Da-dum, been so blind. Da-da-da-da-da. Do you know when that song came out? This is how mad it is. That song came out in 1994.
Holy shit.
Yeah, for real. They've been together. Korn has been around since 1993.
So I just think when I look for like Green Day albums and stuff, and that's like as if they've been around for that fucking long.
Yeah, man. Yeah, bro, for real. And I think it was Untouchable. Hold on, I have to look at like the discography. Yeah. So yeah, man. Like for real. Like we've got literally 4 out of their 5 members have been there since 1993.
What?
That's mad.
That's sick.
Longevity. That is mad. That's always good to see that. Like, and they've had a lot of albums. They had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They've had 13 albums.
Holy shit.
Yeah, man, 13 albums. And I'll tell you what, right? I think what I got lost with them by is I think when they went like Skrillex style. I think it was the Path of Totality. That was shit.
Yeah.
I don't know if
He went through a weird stage, didn't he, where he was like going through loads of shit, weren't he? I think his wife died, didn't she, as well, randomly?
Let's have a look. Pretty sure. Like
something like that happened to him.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm just reading up here. Yeah, man. Like, yeah. Oh yeah, it was Oh yeah. This is the song "Daddy." That was you're referring to earlier, by the way. I'm just reading up now. Holy shoot. Oh my god, that's mad. But yeah, man, like, yeah, take a look in the mirror. I have a feeling that was the iconic album that we might be talking about. I think that's the So that actually like hold on, it has tracks like Everything Unknown, Play Me. Oh my god, Play Me. I'll tell you what. That song, here's the thing about with Korn. When they sometimes included R&B like Nas, they actually do it well because they don't overbear it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
In my opinion. Ooh, is that Untouchables? That might be Untouchables actually. Untouchables, yeah. I mean, thing about Korn, is I think it might be Here to Stay. Yes. Oh, I remember these. Yeah. But yeah, for real, like I think that Korn, they're kind of good. They're good, but I think like in the last decade, I think they've lost their like relevancy a bit. What do you think?
Yeah, I think he's going through like a really weird time, isn't he? Like he's going through loads of shit at the moment in his life, so it's like rough patch.
So here's the thing. So they released 2 recent albums. So The Serenity of Suffering in 2016. Now this album, I honestly think The Serenity of Suffering is an album of which they've got like I don't know if you heard the album. Like this is a good album. I actually like this album.
Yeah.
Like it is actually good. I don't think it's as amazing as their older stuff, but it's an album where it's like, yes. Have you heard it? Yeah. Have you heard some of the tunes? Like
I don't think so. I'm not sure.
Rotting in Vain, Black is the Soul.
I heard the song he done with Tech 9.
Oh, that might be in the Nothing. Hold on.
Starting to Turn, I think. But that must have come out like 2-3 years ago now or something.
Might be. I think that might be a Tech 9 song because I don't see it in there. Yeah, like I've also got the Nothing, which is their latest album that came out last year. I think it's all right. I like it, but I think that Serenity of Suffering is a good album. But yeah, tell me in your opinion, man, what is your favorite? What's your favorite Korn track?
Probably I'd say Twisted Transistor.
Twisted Transistor.
I wanted that as my wrestling song at one point.
Really?
But then I listened to the words actually, and I was like, I don't know.
Could you got an instrumental version?
Yeah, probably.
That's a fair point. Jonathan Davis, if you're listening, can you use an instrumental version? I think Play Me. Yeah. Play Me is actually my favorite song. Like I'm thinking about it, like cause I like if a fusion of metal and rap if done right. I like it.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
Yeah, so I would go with that. So yeah.
That's probably nothing to do with this now, but I love Tech Nine and Corey Taylor with her. That was a sick song.
Yeah, man, bro, that's fine. Like, oh my god, there was going a bit like off topic. My favorite song collab with Corey Taylor is King Bookie and Corey Taylor.
Yeah, that's sick as well.
That is so good. Like,
I do. It's just a perfect blend, isn't it, rock and rap?
yeah, man. Like, Corey Taylor. If we're talking about Slipknot being the goats, I think Corey Taylor needs to be in the Hall of Fame, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd say probably I don't want to say he's like the biggest rock star of our time, but he's probably like the biggest like new era. I don't know. Like rock legend.
I would say it's him.
He does a lot of shit, doesn't he?
I would say between him and the next band we're going to talk about, and one person in particular, I think in terms of Linkin Park, I would say Chester Bennington.
Another person I'll say Dave Grohl. I'll say probably Corey Taylor, Dave Grohl, Chester.
Dave Grohl, like, I think... Here's the thing. I think Dave Grohl is, like... Because of his association with Nirvana, I think he's, like, from an era before, but definitely he should be in the Hall of Fame if he's not there already.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you, man. Like, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, Dave Grohl's influence on music, and, like, here's the thing. I know we're going a bit off topic with Dave Grohl here, but I would say that for him to carry on doing music after, like, his mate, literally, like, Kurt Cobain dying, and didn't the bassist die?
He fell off the stage, didn't he, and broke his leg, and then he finished the show still with his leg on a fucking stool.
Really?
Yeah. And then one of the first shows back at that venue, he got a stunt double to fall off stage and pretend that was him, and everyone freaked out, and then he just ran out of stage like, ah.
Wow, that's a pretty mad story, man. That's pretty mad, but yeah, man, like, that's pretty mad. But yeah, going to Linkin Park now. So Linkin Park is a group that I like more than Korn because I followed them a lot more. What's your thoughts on Linkin Park? What's your thoughts on Linkin Park, Jack?
When you listen to their songs now and the lyrics, they're a lot deeper and stuff.
Yes, that's what I felt. So here's the thing. So unfortunately, when Chester Bennington died in 2017, and a quick note, guys, I probably mentioned this earlier, but if I haven't, we are not making any money on this video. So even though we got Chester Bennington on the thumbnail, we are not profiting off any death or whatsoever. Anyway, moving on. So yeah, so literally with Chester, like with the latest album, One More Light or something like that. I think it was One More Light. Literally, that album, if we're talking honestly, if we're talking about this album honestly, before Chester's passing, that album's shit. But if you look at the lyrics of what you've just said, it's actually deep as hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. When it comes to Linkin Park, man, it's like...
So I kind of saw that as like a suicide note kind of thing, that album.
Yeah! Bro, like, the amount of... I was literally... When Chester died in 2017, I was literally watching so many videos of analysing the lyrics. Oh, man. It was really emotional, like... Bro, like, it was such a shock, because, so, I'll tell you a true story. So, what happened was that I was on a tool ship, like in Pirates of the Caribbean. I was literally on a tool ship voyage between Netherlands to Portsmouth. And literally, as soon as I landed down, so here's the thing, when you're like in the middle of the sea, you get no phone signal, so I'm oblivious to the world. But as soon as I touched down back in land, where I came back home, I found out that Chester died, and I'm like, holy shit. What the fuck? Do you know what I mean? It's like, wow. Thing is, though, I would say that it would be very interesting what would happen with Linkin Park, because what they've said, I don't know if you heard this, but Linkin Park have basically said that they are most likely going to actually stay as a band.
Yeah, it's just weird, isn't it, really?
Yeah, like, cause Chester is, like, the main guy of the band.
They've been bringing out that, what's it called, that other band? That was Chester's original band or something?
Oh, yeah, Grey Days.
Yeah, they've been bringing out songs recently.
Yeah. I've actually listened to a bit. So basically, what Grey Day, for all those that don't know, Grey Days, they've literally reformed after Chester's death and set up a charity foundation, and all the proceeds of all their songs, and they're using like offcuts of like old Chester material.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And do
that's a good idea.
you know Mark Morton of Lamb of God?
No.
So Mark Morton, one that you know Lamb of God is, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Mark Morton, he's one of the guitarists of Lamb of God, and he had his own side project. So before Chester died, the last song, I'm pretty sure, the last song that Chester recorded was, I'll send it to you after this podcast, is actually a song which was basically Mark Morton featuring Chester Bennington, Cross Off.
Yeah.
And it actually showed like Chester still having that that voice, because obviously in the latest album he was very it
Toned down.
very ballady, very ballady, and it's so good. Like, oh my god, it's so good. And out of respect, in the actual music video, what they did was they just had the microphone there, but no Chester, just left the microphone there out of respect.
Did you see the live show when the crowd sung the songs?
Oh yeah, was that the Remember Chester? That was the Remember Chester gig, yeah. So I had a mate.
That was sad.
So I had a mate called Josh. Josh, he's an American guy. He's such a big fan. He's a much bigger fan of Linkin Park than me. As soon as the tickets became available, he paid like second hand, like big money prices to literally be there, go there, and then come back to England.
What?
Yeah. Mind you, not to say American basis prices, but he works for the American Air Force, and oh my god, like, he basically like went to, I think it was either California. I can't remember where it was in America, but he literally went there. And went to see Remember Chester, and he said it was a very emotional experience.
Yeah, I could imagine.
Yeah, man. But yeah, like, if we're gonna talk about the music of Linkin Park, how would you describe the music of Linkin Park from Hybrid Theory to now?
I'd say it was very angry, and then it kind of started to show you why that was angry, and then it kind of just stopped in that.
How do you mean? Like, are you talking about the band being angry, or you being pissed off about their music?
Like, the band were kind of like, the songs were originally like quite like aggressive lyrics and stuff, weren't they? Whereas, and that kind of got more into like the depression and mental illness side of the lyrics, and then it's just kind of got too for people noticed, and it's not here now.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I think they really kind of so here's the thing. What was it? So I have their discography right here, and so Hybrid Theory and Meteora, in my opinion, they are two of their best. They are the two best albums of Linkin Park, and you can make a case for either of them being like the best. Like, I won't argue with you if you say the other one or the other, but but I would honestly say that after Meteora, let me just look at so we've got Minutes to Midnight, 1,000 Suns, and Living Things. They're not they had okay tracks in some of them, but it was kind of like meh. It felt like meh. Do you know what I mean? But didn't feel inspiring. The Hunting. Did you listen to the Hunting Party album? The album before that was heavy as hell.
Yeah.
That was a good album. It's not as good as Hybrid Theory or Meteora, but it was a good album. But then One More Light, it was kind of, did you see the amount of divide it caused because I remember the amount of divide that album caused.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, what was, before Chester died, what did you think of the album?
I thought that, I saw that I had all the mental illness stuff. I was listening to the lyrics over the song and stuff, and that's kind of like what get me into the song. So I kind of noticed it straight away, and yeah.
Yeah, man, like, I think...
It's kind of sad no one else could.
Yeah, man. So, here's my thinking. So, I would say Linkin Park, I think with their influences and all that stuff, I think they 100% deserve to be in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Especially. And Mike Shinoda, who's the other vocalist of the band, they are good. And I'm just it's so mad, man. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's actually really sad, because I really wish that I really wished that, honestly, Chester was still here right now.
Yeah.
Cause yeah, I mean, do you want to know something random? I don't know if I
So
told
I
you.
got such mixed feelings on the One More Light song
Say that again.
because, like, the One More Light song, I got such mixed feelings on it.
Okay, go on.
That's such a powerful message and all that. But then at the same time, it's like he said it and then he did it.
Yeah, man.
And it's kind of like, why would you? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
I don't know.
It's so emotional, mad, man. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, right? If Linkin Park releases a new album, we have to do an album review podcast, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like it'll be so interesting how they'll do it without Chester. So yeah, man. Like,
Yeah.
I know we're ending this podcast on a very slightly emotional note, but tell us your favorite Linkin Park song, man.
I'd have to go with probably Crawlin'.
Oh, crawling. Oh, that's
Yeah.
such a good song. And remember the effects. I was like, holy shit, those
Yeah.
effects are cool.
Yeah.
Back in the green when people barely discovered green screens back in those days.
Yeah. Oh, actually, I'll say in the end.
Yes.
Yeah. In the end is I'll say that.
All right, so I'm gonna go with a very different pick. So one song that is actually of their second to last album is actually my favorite song. It's a song called "A Line in the Sand."
Yeah.
Have you heard it?
Yeah.
Oh man, that song, I think it really had everything. Because the thing is with me is that I really enjoy the first two albums, and if I had to pick a second favorite, it would probably be "Somewhere I Belong." Yes.
Yeah, I was going to say that as well.
Yeah,
It's in the top 5.
But I think "A Line in the Sand," I really like that song because, like, to me is like the amount of people that piss me off, the amount of people that's like fucked with me, and like that song came out in 2014, so I felt that was more relevant to me back in those days. You know what I mean? So yeah, I would have to say "A Line in the Sand," man. But yeah, bro, this has been a great podcast, man. I mean, cause this is like a trip down memory lane, and it really shows like how these bands, these bands that we picked in particular, that have really influenced the music genre of today, and yeah, bro, like yeah, man. I'll have to send you cross off after this podcast. So, bro, tell us your socials.
Jackie Hyde.
Available on Facebook, and we'll never know if. Here's the funny thing, right? So you can't access your Instagram, but every time I tag you, right, on like Insta stories to promote these podcasts, you still exist.
I just every time I sign in, that says it's permanently being what's it called? Pending whatever the fuck.
So
like, and then I try to screenshot it, and that's like you can't screenshot this, and that's like
oh bro, do you know what you need to do?
What?
When I know we're still recording, but definitely we hang out one day and we'll sort it out. I'll figure out something. Yeah. You can screenshot. You can screenshot from your laptop.
Oh shit.
There's a print screen button literally on your laptop.
Yeah, I haven't really tried it on the laptop.
Yeah, you can log into Instagram via your laptop.
Yeah.
But in any case, enough about technological stuff, because what we're going to do now is we're going to move on from new metal to golf, baby, with Paulie FPL. Whoop, whoop. Do you have any quick things to say to Paulie before we head to Paulie?
I hope your conversation is on par with ours.
Oh my god!
It's good.
Alright, in a bit with Paulie. Welcome back to DrayZera Uncensored, and we have got a very special guest right here. OMG, he is a fellow moderator of the elite FPL world of fantasy football. Yet, we ain't here to talk about football. We're here to talk about the smaller ball, golf. With a swing and a doom, we have got Paulie FPL. Hello.
Good morning, afternoon, evening.
How are you, buddy?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good in the hood. So yeah, let's just talk about golf. So I thought for me in this podcast we talk about whatever, and the thing is that like in terms of golf, is one of those sports where anyone can play it, but then there's always a thing where people just don't get it. Like, there are people, like, for example, I had a chat with somebody just before I came on this podcast, and they're like, golf? Are you someone's dad?
Yeah, you do get that a lot.
Aye. So, what would you say to people that might have a bit of a diatribe against golf?
I'd just say give it a go, so don't knock it until you've tried it.
Do you feel it's one of those sports where is it a lot better watching? Is it a lot better playing? How do you feel about it?
Well, I play it a lot more than I actually watch it on TV.
I mean,
for me,
go on.
It's exercise, it's enjoyable, but watching on TV because you're the one sat down watching it, it just seems to drag on just a little bit for me.
So, are you more somebody that would rather just watch like someone specific who's doing their golf round rather than watching the whole, like for example, the Masters? Like, I've watched the Masters a few times. Like, I like it, but I prefer to watch on either the latter days or just bits of it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so I'd watch in the early rounds, especially. You'd watch your favourite ones.
Yeah.
And then as the tournament comes to a close on the third and fourth day, you can watch then the leaders who then go out to the later ball.
Yeah, the latest, yeah.
For example. And then if it's something though like the Ryder Cup, I could sit and watch the Ryder Cup all day because they're playing for Europe. They're playing for USA, so they're representing wherever you are.
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. That's a fair point. I mean, so yeah, what made you start enjoying golf in the first place, man?
It was actually my mum's dad, so my grandpa, who he's played it since he was like 15-year-old.
I see.
He's in his mid-80s now, and he actually only stopped playing a couple of years.
Wow.
So when we used to go to visit, he always used to take us onto a field behind his house when we were younger, so we couldn't hit the ball quite as far, so we could just hit the ball up and down the field. When we got better and got older, he took us to golf courses, it took us to driving ranges, and then over the years, me and my brother used to go. We actually realised we enjoyed it and we were actually quite good at it, so we carried on playing. Where a lot of people, if they play a couple of times, they realise that they're not actually good at it. It's very easy to stop playing golf because it's one of them games that one bad shot, your round's messed up. You've got to literally be near perfect all the way around.
Would you say
it gets frustrating as well sometimes?
Would you say, in a way, even though it's a completely different tempo, would you compare in terms of golf swinging and like making sure you hit the fairway, don't get into the bunker, etc.? Would you say that it's a bit comparable to darts? So, for example, in darts, if you have one bad score in darts that completely throws your leg away, would you say that's a fair comparison?
It is over the short term, so one bad shot throws your hole away. So for that one hole. But if it's like because you play over 18 holes, one bad hole, you've took 5 more shots than you wanted, for example.
Like,
that's them 5 shots that you've got to do better on the remaining. Where in darts you can really compose yourself and then win the next.
That's a fair point. Yeah, that's a fair point actually, because like, for example, as you just said, if you triple or quadruple bogey like hole 4, then literally it pressures you so hard to like get 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 right to get back into par.
Yeah, so that obviously gives you 14 holes then to catch up on them 5 shots, whatever that you've lost, and then you've got to try and get better to make your score better as well.
See, one thing that really interests me about golf, is that in regards to golf, you have, say, 18 holes for like professional, for like a professional round of golf, and the thing is that over the years, like, do you feel that technology in golf has literally been so proficient? Like, not just talking about the clubs that people use, but also like the technology of the courses. Like, how much do you feel courses have changed over the years, say within the last, say, not only in your lifetime, but let's say within the last 30, 40 years when players like Gary Player played and you know what I mean? All those kind of players. Nick
Yeah.
Faldo to now, and also the clubs. How would you say it's changed over the years?
Yeah, so in regards to the clubs,
Mm.
not the clubs, the course, we'll start with that.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
Nowadays, you've got all the technology and the machinery to get, for example, water off the golf course. Whereas back, I'd say, going back 30, 35 years, if there was a puddle, that puddle then stayed there.
Wow.
So you don't have, because now in golf, they've got machines that obviously you can go down the fairway and you can puncture holes, which obviously then drains the water into the ground. They've got these type of, I don't know if you've seen it, but they've got these type of brushes as well that they sometimes go onto course with.
Those are kind
help absorb water, but then also you're able to push the water all the way out to the side.
Aren't they the kind of same brushes that also are used in cricket pitches? Because you can't play in a waterlogged pitch in cricket.
Yeah, the only difference with the cricket is they've got that cover that goes over the most important bit of the course. Whereas in golf, it's that big. You've got 18 holes that you need to protect. It's impossible to get stuff out like that, isn't it?
Oh, I get you.
So yeah, and they're just well maintained now. So like I'll use this as an example. The golf course that I'm actually a member at, they've got a hole that runs near where it's separated by a wall, and then there's like a public walkway where you can walk up and down with obviously your dogs, and you can go on bikes and stuff. And there's actually been some people hop over and vandalise the green. And what they've done is they've poured bleach on the green, and it's actually killed it.
Wow.
So what they've had to do now is obviously they've had to get all the new seeds. They've got to completely get rid of the green, relay it, and now that's green. We can't use that now for the rest of this golf season.
Wow.
So that'll not be open now until like February again next year.
That's terrible. So would you say that, like, is this common? I mean, I've never really seen, like, I don't know why someone would, like, want to vandalize a golf course. I mean, they're expensive.
Yeah, it does happen, but it's not something that happens like that. It's opportunity for them. So they've hopped over a small wall that's literally about 1 meter high. They've got onto a golf course. They obviously knew it were there because they've obviously got the bleach there with them.
Wow.
It's not like they've been carrying the bleach and thought, oh, there's a golf course there. I'll go pour it up here.
So it was premeditated. Yeah.
Yeah, but that is actually the second time it's been done. It got done a couple of years ago as well, and they actually wrote words on it the first time, but this time they just poured it all over. And
Wouldn't it make sense to just build a bigger wall? I know Donald Trump has said that, but I'm joking. But yeah, wouldn't it make sense to like just build a taller wall, or the foundations that doesn't make sense?
Well, it's just your typical, like your farm wall that separates wooden area in your field and stuff. I'm not actually sure if that's the golf course's property or the public's property either, because it runs beside the walkway. But I've not actually asked that.
That's actually,
why don't they build a big
I'm
wall?
just saying it's curious because that would, even though the walls or like added security around the area might cost a bit more money, then you will be saving a lot of money, and you'll save disgruntled golfers that want to play on that hole. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but it's so what they've done with that is they've just cut a temporary green. So they've got the machinery now to cut a green closer to the tee box in the fairway.
Wow. So
and then back in day, I just think all they did was they got a mower out and just cut down the fairway and just stuck a flag in it. But now they can actually make it look like a decent green.
So like with the green, right? So this is going to proper technical territory, yeah? What needs to be done to separate from a fairway to a green? Because obviously, is it the level of blades of grass? Is it like how thin the grass is? How does it work?
So obviously you've got your rough, which is obviously cut to a certain height.
Yeah.
You've got your semi-rough, and then you've got your fairway, and then you've got your green. Some places greens are actually different type of grass to fairway as well.
So as in, when you say different types of grass, so is it kind of like, so there's different types of grass basically?
Yeah, I don't know anything about it, but like for example, if you're playing in America or Asia, for example, they've got something called Bermuda grass, and that grows with the direction that the sun is.
Oh
So
wow.
if a grass is growing in a certain direction, if you're hitting your ball into the direction that the grass is growing, the ball's going to roll slower.
Wow.
If you hit it with the grass, it's going to go a lot quicker.
Is that why?
So there's that as well. So like when you've got all your professionals on TV, they're reading which way the bumps are going and which way the green's slanting. They're also looking at which way the grass is growing in relation to the hole as well. So obviously, if you're hitting it slower, you've got to hit the ball harder.
So
and then if it's the opposite way, you've got to take speed off it and stuff.
Is that kind of why sometimes, like, because sometimes I've watched like major events, or say I've sometimes watched the European tour where someone from, I don't know, the Singapore tour, the Singapore Masters or something, for example, and then somebody who's local, who's kind of unknown, he's doing very well, but that's because he knows the conditions very well, rather than somebody like, I don't know, say a Rory McIlroy or you know what I mean, like various other golfers that basically they may struggle on, but they're so well popular. You know what I mean? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So for example, obviously the weather conditions as well. If you're from a really warm country, warm climate, the green's going to be a lot harder. So if the ball hits it, it's going to hit and bounce and keep going. Whereas, for example, if you play in England, it's been raining, it's going to hit the green, it's going to stop, and it's going to slow down and probably spin about as well.
Is that because of the dew? Is it the dew that absorbs it, like the dew?
Yeah, and it's just if it's damp as well. So obviously, if it rains, it gets wet. It just plugs and everything. And
that's actually very interesting, because so that's very interesting, and so we actually didn't like we didn't actually like talk about the greens that much. So we mentioned about like the etymology of grass, but when it comes to greens, how much does it have to like literally be like a carpet, essentially, the greens, or how does it really work?
Yeah, so the greens are designed so the ball can roll as evenly as possible along it.
Right.
So you don't want like bits of grass on the green that are longer than the others, because if a ball goes straight to that, it's just going to stop and get caught up in it.
Right, I see.
So the greens are maintained really well. They've also got it's got a special name for it as well, but the machine goes on it and it just punctures all the holes in it. So that helps with drainage, and it also helps with maintaining the growth of the grass and everything with it, so the grass doesn't die and everything when the weather changes.
That's interesting. And would you say that golf is in best conditions when it's a sunny day, or can it be played all throughout the year?
Golf can be played throughout the year, but most golf courses close in the winter.
Because who wants to golf in cold, snowy conditions, basically?
Yeah, it's that as well. And then obviously when you hit the ball, if it's muddy, you're gonna take more of the turf up. If the ball bounces, it's going to plug holes into the ground more. So they take that time to just keep people off the course, let the rain come down, let the snow do whatever, and then when it starts settling up, they've then got time to get the course ready for when the season opens.
Oh, I see. So basically,
they do actually play off something they call winter tees as well.
Oh, really?
So normal tee box is grass, but winter tees at most courses are AstroTurf.
Oh, and AstroTurf is plastic grass, so you know that's chill.
So you can play off there. You can take your tee shots off there, but then the rest of the fairway, the rough is normal, and then they also have winter greens as well. So you don't play on the normal green. They've got that machine that then cuts another green in the fairway somewhere, so the holes are a lot shorter. And they maintain the tee box, they maintain the green. They also say that if you go into a bunker, don't play the bunker shot, you just pick your ball up and you get a free drop out of the bunker without any penalty.
Oh, wow. Interesting.
So when they try and maintain it as much as they can through the bad weather and everything.
So yeah, speaking of the bunker, this is me just being literally very curious about this. So how do they import the sand or whatever it is, this bunker? Like, isn't the bunker, like, what's in it? Is it sand or is it a different material?
It is sand, but I'm not sure it's the type of sand that if, for example, you go to the beach, I don't know if it's the sand that you get like in a nursery sand pit.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. But you can get different types of sand as well. So like in England, the sand is like a brownie reddish colour. And if you look on like in America, you get like really white sand as well.
Oh yeah, really pristine kind of like
So what the white sand is thinner, which means the club runs through the sand easier, so it doesn't get all snagged up and everything. Because in the bunkers in England as well, you get like little stones and little pebbles and stuff, isn't it?
Oh yeah, fair point. We kind of brushed on this subject a bit, but we've also got to talk about like the technology of clubs, because like I've seen like high-end clubs in proper. If we talk about like American Golf Company or like big like companies, like I think Dunlop is a golf make, like you know what I mean. Uh, Callaway is another company, but yeah, with them companies, right? Their golf clubs, they are expensive.
Yeah, they are. So back in the day, we just basically you got a wooden shaft. You just put a bit of metal on that looked like a head, and you just had golf clubs. But as it became more popular, people played it. Companies took notice, and they wanted to be the best. So they came up with all the technology where you can have different types of shafts. You can have different type of grips. You can have different type of club heads. And the technology now is you can basically, so on the driver that I use, I've got a tool, so I can basically go to my driver and I can adjust it, so I can make it, for example, if I want to hit the ball left to right, I can adjust the club to do that. If I want to hit it right to left, I can adjust the club to do that. If I want the ball to stay lower, if it were windy and I want the ball to stay lower, I can use the tool and I can adjust the loft of the club so it's set lower so it doesn't go as high. And you've got your different type of shafts as well. So some of them when you swing, they're really light and the flex a little bit. And then your professionals use one where they're heavy. They don't bend and they generate a load of speed, which is why you see professionals hitting the ball for miles nowadays.
Oh yeah, so here's the thing that intrigues me. So with these drivers, irons, wedges, all that kind of stuff, and the putter, all them clubs and all that kind of stuff, what do they have to fit a certain specification to be legal? Because all this technology, do you know what I mean? They have to make sure that it's all above board, you know?
Yeah, especially the putter. The putter's the one that's most recently been changed, because I don't know if you can remember, but you used to
Adam Scott is a good example, because I remembered, what was it? Wasn't there a big kind of thing where the belly putter, or the putter that goes under the chin, wasn't that outlawed?
Yeah, so Adam Scott and VJ Singh, for example, they use putters where you could rest it against your body and use your body as an anchor to get your putter back and forward straight. And therefore, really all the technology, they were gaining an advantage over people that were just using their arms and the shoulders to generate it. So you're still allowed a putter that's quite long, you're just not allowed to anchor it on anything.
Which I think is fair, because literally, if you anchor it, then that's a form of a centering, isn't it? Therefore,
So clubs have changed. So for example, there's an American golf you don't know called Bryson DeChambeau, and he's basically really into statistics and how clubs and everything perform. So what he's done recently is he's decided that he wants to have a set of clubs, and all of his clubs are exactly the same height. So usually you've got your 4-iron, which the shaft is longer than, for example, a pitching wedge, because you want your 4-iron to generate more speed to go further than a pitching wedge. But what he's got now is his pitching wedge is actually the same height as his 7-iron. His 8-iron, 9-iron pitching wedge, they're all the same height. All that means is he's keeping the same swing. It's just got different lofts on the clubs.
Okay.
So that's a new form of technology as well. And in relation to his putter as well, he's actually got a new putter. And he's actually got a special grip where it's, just imagine a normal grip, but then half of it's cut off. So it's flat at one side and round at the other side.
Really?
And,
So
that flat side rests against his forearm of his left hand. So he's basically holding his club really low, and the rest of his club is resting up against his arm. So he's got his left arm then helping to anchor his putter.
So is he almost holding it almost like a tennis racket in a way? Cause if you hold if you hold it if you have a very deep grip into your racket, I've seen people hold their racket up high with part of their forearm showing, kind of thing, especially for forearm shots.
Yeah, so if you ever see him putt, his club is a little bit longer, his grip's longer. He'll hold his club about halfway down, and the rest of the club is just basically from his wrist all the way up to where his elbow is, and his left arm is helping him with his anchor.
But I thought anchoring was banned, or is he circumventing the rules?
Yeah, it's banned from the body, but he's just found a way, obviously, that's still in the rule book, that he can use his left arm to help him.
Oh, I see.
So I don't think it doesn't break any rules because he's only still using his shoulder and his arms to do it. Whereas with the anchor, it's basically using your belly,
the rest of your
chest,
body,
and your arms and everything.
That's intriguing. Whoa, that's mad. So tell me then, with all is it because that is it so much upkeep to keep a golf course going? Is that why memberships are a bit up, and if you want to pay a per course kind of thing, it's obviously for some places it could be very cheap, but in general for certain golf clubs or the golf companies, you got to pay a bit of a premium for the common man.
Yeah, so I just think it's basically to help maintain the course, to pay for all the machinery, for all the sand, for example, for all the stuff that they need to put on the fairways,
and the employees and that, yeah, all them employees.
Yeah, so the golf course that I'm a member at, you've got your full membership. They've also got a junior membership, and they've also brought out an intermediate membership. So what that intermediate membership is, it helps people who, for example, if you work 9 well 5, don't leave work well 5:30, you've hardly then got enough time to play golf. So what they've got is you can basically pay for an intermediate membership, and it puts credit onto your membership card. So if you just want to play, for example, I finish at 3 o'clock on Friday, I can go play, I'll use my card and I'll pay for the round. It'll take the credit off that card, so you'll go down whatever, for example, £15 from 100, you'll have £85 left. And if you don't play them for another 2 weeks because of work, you can then go back in 3 weeks. I'll finish at dinner time, I'll go play golf. You can use that same card, you'll still have that £85 credit on it, and then you can use £15 for your £60.
That's not bad.
So memberships last, you've got to pay every year. So if you pay £1,000, for example, you're expected to play over the year £1,000 worth of golf.
Wow.
Whereas with the intermediate membership, if you put £300 on, you've basically got £300 on that card that you can use over 5 years, for example.
Oh wow. And do you think that's kind of ideal? Because obviously golf, if you want to play golf properly, it seems like it's quite the commitment. Even for a casual level, you have to get that level of commitment. You gotta find your right goals. You gotta also find the right course. Membership club, all that stuff, don't you?
Yeah. So what we did is me and a few work colleagues and my brother, we actually bought that intermediate membership just when all this lockdown and everything happened. Because we didn't expect everything to shut down like it did. So we thought, right, we're not going to be able to go to school, so we can't work. So we're going to be able to go play golf. So we thought, right, we've got 2 months here of golf. We'll put this membership and we'll just go play golf. And we've used quite a bit of it, and it turns out that we're going to need more because of what's happened and nothing's reopening and everything.
Interesting. Obviously, guys, this won't come out for 2 months, so by the time, hopefully by the end of August, guys, when you'll be hearing this, or actually no, it will actually come out in the first, it'll come out right at the end of August, yeah. So literally, hopefully, for Paulie's sake, I don't know. How do you feel about playing more golf and less work?
I love it.
So,
Yeah. So when this video actually goes out, it'll be the end of August. I might actually be back at work now because schools hopefully are going to reopen in September.
Yeah.
So when it comes out, I could be preparing to go back to work now. So I'll probably use all my membership.
Oh yeah. For all those that don't know, Paulie works in affiliation with the school kids and living a more active lifestyle on behalf of Active Barnsley. Is that correct?
Correct.
Correct. Look at that. Look at my memory go. Hey.
Yeah, so our main job is basically we promote healthy lifestyles and sport in general and PE. But what we do is we go into the schools and we teach bikeability, which is the new word for cycle proficiency. And then that's what we do in primary schools.
Wow, that sounds fancy. It's one of those buzzwords, but I like the marketability.
Yeah.
That's fair. That's pretty cool. But now I think we've covered quite a few like like general golf topics because I feel that I just honestly feel like golf is a cool sport, and I've got these golf clubs lying around like just chilling in my shed. I haven't used it yet, and I've said to you before, man, I actually want to play around a golf with you, man.
Yeah, so hopefully before this video comes out, we've actually had a round.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, I might even vlog it. Who knows?
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
That would be actually cool. And do not worry, I will not wear my Liverpool top, but that's another story in itself.
Yeah, I'll not turn up if you wear.
So anyway, any social media links you want me to shout out, or would you like to shout out yourself? Because we mentioned Active Barnsley, I feel like we can also mention Active Barnsley as well, eh?
Yeah, so my personal Twitter is Paulie FPL, and I'm probably put it down.
Yeah, I'll put it in the description. I'll put everything you say in the description. Carry on.
Our company is active_Barnsley on Twitter. We've got Active Barnsley on Facebook as well. But obviously, we only work in the Barnsley community. So if you're from, for example, Leeds, we'll not be doing any work in that area. But if you want to check us out with what we do, there's videos of the cycling and all the sports that we run and everything on there if you want to have a nosy.
Absolutely sounds good indeed. And of course, if anyone's in the Barnsley area, definitely check out the awesome golf around the areas, I have to say. But
yeah, there's some really nice courses in Barnsley if you've not been to check them out. We've got a few people who come and play in Barnsley as well, who, if you are interested in golf, we've actually got some YouTubers who have like 100,000 subscribers that come to play at courses in Barnsley as well.
Nice. It shows you the pedigree of Barnsley. So anyway, guys, we have reached the end of the podcast. My name is DrayZera from the DrayZera Uncensored podcast, and this is Paulie FPL right here.
Cheers, guys. Take care.
No worries. And we shall zera later. Goodbye.